Yo, welcome back,
Yes.
everybody. We are back, Ulner. What do
Oh.
you say, man?
I'm good, Irshad, man. It's been a long time, a big hiatus, but we're back.
Oh, we're back.
Ooh, I'm
Oh,
excited. I'm so excited for this.
man, lots of things happened. We got NBA champions we talked about.
Uh-huh.
We have Stanley Cup champions. We have like Shohei Ohtani having the best year of his life right now.
Yeah, we had the Olympics too.
Olympics. We had was it World Cup?
Yeah.
Or Euro
Cup,
Euro
Euro
Cup.
Cup
Sorry.
too. A lot of stuff.
Oh man, but
That's all in the past.
that's all in the past.
We're here for you and for the future.
And what is queued up for 2024 going into 2025 first?
So surprisingly, tomorrow the NFL starts.
Ooh.
I don't know if you heard about that.
That's a big one, man.
It's a big game happening tomorrow to open up the new NFL season, which I'm so excited for.
Oh, buddy, I'm too amped. Honestly, like you said it is NFL big hits, lots of moves.
Yeah.
It is a marquee matchup tomorrow.
Whew.
And I think you and I were talking about it. Whoever made this schedule
It's
for
just-
this NFL season,
Especially, yeah, it's like God.
it's an elite schedule right now, and I think we're all waiting for this, and it makes us here at AIM Sports that much more excited to bring it to you.
Yes, AIM Sports. So we've had a lot of followers listening to us, last year for NBA playoffs, for hockey, for everything we talked about. But for the new viewers that will be listening and joining to us, myself, Ulner, and my brother beside me, Irshad, we are AIM Betting. What we do at AIM Betting is a lot of things over here. But before we get into that, I'll introduce myself. My name is Ulner once again. I love sports. My favorite sport is basketball. I love the Raptors. My favorite player is Kobe Bean Bryant. Just for you to get to know who I am. My brother, I'll pass it on to Irshad. He'll give you a quick insight about himself.
Yeah. Oh man. Honestly, my name's Urshad. I've been big fan of fantasy sports all my life. Sports in general. Big time player. I love playing basketball. I love watching hockey, basketball, soccer. I just love sports. Period. Favorite team, Raptors. Leafs fan. And in light of the upcoming NFL season,
Yes.
I am a New Orleans Saints fan.
Ooh.
That is me. Breeze was definitely my first quarterback that I saw play, and I was just inspired by him. And since then, got me as a Saints fan right away, man.
I don't even want to talk about my favorite team right now, but
Oh.
it's okay. I'll tell you right now. I myself am a New York Giants fan. I have
Okay.
Eli Manning has been my dog. He's the kryptonite to all you Brady fans out there. Just stuff like that. Things didn't go well, but it's okay. We are rebuilding, and that's for later. But we're not here to talk about our favorite teams. We're here to talk about sports betting, all about sports.
Yep.
That will make your ears open up and listen to us on why we love sports and why you love sports as well too. And at AIM Betting previously, we had a structure we used to follow where we had games of the week, we had our hot AIM topics, but we threw that out and started something brand new this year.
Yep.
Irshad, tell them what we're changing for this year.
All right. So first of all, to get for some of our new viewers and some of our newer viewers, we're going from one time a week to now 2 times a week
Uh-oh.
for the NFL season.
Hope you guys are getting tired of us.
Oh man, we're gonna get to know a lot of you guys, especially in the coming season here, and you're definitely gonna come to know a lot about us. But how this is gonna work is every Wednesday, we're going to dissect the previous Monday night and Sunday night footballs. We're gonna talk about our records,
Yes.
which we'll obviously start building from today.
Yes.
We're gonna pick and talk about and provide you guys a free Thursday night football pick and a trending bet that we think is going to happen. But here at AIM, we don't just help to inform you and just tell you what the answer is. We actually help make you think a little bit. We're going to tell you why we think what we think.
Yes.
And it's up to you kind of to make that call. But as with any NFL, we're going to be getting into fantasy. So we'll actually talk a lot about fantasy lineups, what we think is going to go on for the Thursday night football. We're going to think about what's going on for the week.
Yep.
And of course, for those who are playing Survivor, we'll kind of incorporate a Survivor pick here at AIM Sports for you. But like I said, that's only one show out of the 2. Ulner, what's the second show, brother?
All right, second show we either recorded either on Friday or Saturday. You guys will get it. And that we'll recap what we talked about Thursday night football, our picks, trending bets, our fantasy lineup for the day that we will have for Thursday. We will also on that day also create a new fantasy lineup for the week for Sunday. Create a big fantasy lineup. Pick 3 games of the week for Sunday, maybe even Monday. The top games that we like. Give our picks for it, our inside info of it on who we like. And that's where we're gonna we'll have a difference. We'll have a battle going on in there. We're gonna have some fun. And on top of it too, we're also gonna come up with a fantasy lineup collectively for all our viewers and make this fantasy and trying to get the best team we can with the most points. Now on top of that too, we also have Survivor. For those of you who don't know what Survivor is pretty straightforward. There's a team that will be picked by aim betting ourselves here. Each week, we will not be able to repeat this team until the season is over. We will try to go 18 weeks or 17 weeks, however long we want, until without losing. Hopefully, we'll make it all the way there.
Yep.
Knock on wood. But at the end of the day, that's something new we're incorporating this year. Now, let's talk about first game. Tomorrow happening. Big game, big kickoff. We got Super Bowl champions KC, who repeated. We're going for a 3-peat now. Against a Baltimore Ravens team who every year has been hungry. They have been so hungry that they're always so close because last year they were right there, almost at the goal line.
They were.
And then they fumbled the ball and they lost in the AFC Championship game to the Kansas City Chiefs, who went on to beat the 49ers to repeat as Super Bowl champions. So, my brother, Irshad, recap of the game tomorrow. Let them know the line, the spread, the over-under, and what are we picking?
Oh, man. So, it's a marquee matchup, like we were saying. Whoever made the schedule is elite, all right? I'm already enjoying the season, and it has yet to even begin. So, as it currently stands, Vegas has KC as a favorite, but only by 3 points.
Whew.
Now, for those who need a bit of a refresher, this was last year's AFC Finals. And this is a rematch where KC actually won by a touchdown, by 7 points.
Yeah.
Now,
One possession.
That's it. Now, for those who remember that game, either joyfully or painfully, depending on which side you were on, you guys will remember that, Zay Flowers had the ball punched out by L'Jarius Sneed. And that could have been the make or break for the Ravens to potentially tie it up, have the momentum change, and end up in the Super Bowl themselves.
Yep.
But I think they've taken that, they took it to the chin, and they've trained, made some off-season moves, and are ready to get the season started. So, I'm thinking a quick kind of take on it. Derrick Henry, period.
King Henry.
My goodness. He has dominated with the Titans, single-handedly.
For years.
Years. Now, I get it, man. He's going 30 in the era of professional sports. That's coming, to a bit of an older age. But Derrick Henry just seems to be such a beast that he just shakes everybody and anything off. He's fine. I personally think he's okay. And keep in mind, he was dominating in a Titans offense that literally never really had that support.
Yeah.
They weren't
there. He was there. He was their only player that produced work. They were running and they just had their run and gun, not even just pounding the rock in there. All they did was run, hand it off. That is Baltimore's style of football, though. It is their style of football, but at the end of the day, they have a couple of weapons. They have their quarterback, Lamar Jackson, who also can run the ball. Now you got a dual threat there.
Easy.
Who do you cover? Do you blitz and just attack Lamar? Do you blitz only Derrick Henry and just anticipate the run every time? Because you also got to remember, there's also play action.
Yep.
With play action, you got Zay Flowers out there.
Yeah.
You got Andrews out there. You've got a veteran presence as Aguilar out there too.
Yeah.
That could make a difference right away. One snap, one catch could make a big, big, big difference.
Yeah. Now you have RPOs too. They're being incorporated.
Exactly.
For those who don't know what RPOs are, it's a run-play option.
Yeah, where a quarterback could either hand the ball off to the running back or keep it himself when he looks at defense. Now, as KC's looking at the other side, Andy Reid's sitting there figuring out what defense should I play. Now, we all know Kansas City always plays defense when the game matters. Game 1, coming off a Super Bowl, is the curse still alive for them to be hungover? Are they still hungover from the Super Bowl last year, Irshad? Do you think they'll come out strong? What do you feel is going to happen in this game?
Man, honestly, this is how I think it's going to go down tomorrow, man. I think what's going to happen is I think a little bit of that hangover is still going to be over their heads. I don't know if it's going to be so much complacency as is maybe they're losing a little bit of their steam. I still think they're a formidable team. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
But I think they're going to try to kind of be a little bit more reserved, try to feel out the Ravens a little bit more. But what's going to happen is the Ravens are actually truly overpowering the Chiefs in every which way, right? Mahomes still has an arm. He has one of the greatest chemistries I've ever seen with the tight end.
Yeah.
Okay, like akin to a Brady Gronk kind of setup here. But I think what's going to happen is you're going to see Mahomes and the rest of the squad come out pretty reserved. They're going to continue to do their work, and they're going to be stopped by a very formidable Ravens defense.
Yes.
And then Ravens are going to come out hungry, and they're actually going to be able to penetrate through the Chiefs' defense. Now, one thing that we talked about, in the offseason, Chiefs let go of L'Jarius Sneed, who we mentioned earlier was the reason why arguably the Ravens didn't make the playoffs or make the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And the Chiefs did. He is the one who punched out the ball out of Zay Flowers' hand for that tying touchdown. So for them to get rid of L'Jarius Sneed, I think leaves a bit of a hole, and I think the Ravens are ready to pounce.
Yes.
Now, to your point as well, Ulner, we see like what are the options here? You have Derrick Henry, you have Lamar Jackson, you have Zay Flowers coming into his own. You have quite a few threats. So I truly think that Derrick Henry now with a proper cast will actually do quite well. And in spite of the fact that the Chiefs tried to start off reserved, maybe didn't get those opportunities that they're looking for, and when they did try to send those long bombs to Rashee Rice or to Kelsey, it was picked off, it's going to be deflected, and they're going to have to settle for a kick. So I think it's going to be a heavy kicking game from the Chiefs side, which will actually force Mahomes and company to resort back to the medium and short game.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to end up happening. I think, simply put, the Chiefs are going to be outpowered by a very, very powerful Baltimore defense and an even stronger Baltimore offense compared to what they were last year.
Yeah, no, for sure. I totally agree. Because Baltimore needs to come out hungry, especially if they come out strong and get a W tomorrow. It could show everybody that they are a team that could beat Kansas City and maybe get over the hump this year and make it to the Super Bowl. And like you said, Irshad, too, Zay Flowers has something to prove. After losing that ball where he had to hold it tight, and L'Jarius Sneed not being there, he can exploit that secondary. He can go out there and do his magic, run his route, catch the ball, run, score maybe a couple of touchdowns himself with Lamar Jackson throwing the football. But we'd have to wait and see tomorrow. But that's what me and you feel that's what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, again, Vegas said the spread is 3. When you kick a ball through the uprights, you get 3 points. So being a kicking game, Vegas has a line as a kicking game. I feel like it will be a kicking game, but we'll have some excitement in tomorrow's game as well.
I agree. I agree. I think it's gonna be a back and forth for sure, but not as one, in my opinion, that many people are anticipating. I think it's gonna be a lot of grit, a lot of big hits. But I think the ones that are going to come out on top are going to be the Ravens. I think the Chiefs will keep it close because of these kicks.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because of these field goals. So I think Butker has his work set out for him.
Yeah, so does Tucker too.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? They're one of the amazing kickers in the league we see today.
Yeah.
It's gonna show tomorrow. But I feel like both teams are gonna feel each other out. They're gonna play the short passing game. That one option, that one play that might exploit the defense might show up and they'll score.
Yeah.
I feel tomorrow's game looks like an under type of game because they're just going to feel each other out, see how it is. They don't want to exploit too much offense because then on film, all the other 32 teams will be able to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
You don't really want to go do that. You want to feel your new players, test them out, test the waters, coaching, the weather, everything plays a factor of it. But yeah, kicking game under sounds like a game that it's going to be tomorrow. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a hell of a game. They're going to see the banner go up. Kansas City is basically fighting for a three-peat.
Yeah.
Baltimore's fighting to go over the hump to go get it.
Yeah.
So the line's -3. It's a tough one. The game was in one position. Last time they played in the AFC Finals, it was 17-10 Kansas City.
Yeah.
I know what my pick is going to be for this game, but I'm going to let Irshad do the honors first today.
Oh, man. So I think coming into the first TNF record, which will let you guys know our TNF record, Thursday Night Football record, will be separate
Yes.
than our Sunday Night and Monday Night Football records.
Or like Sunday and Monday football, yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep that together on Thursday night just because it's more of a marquee matchup.
Yes.
So for the inaugural NFL season, my first Week 1 Thursday night football pick is I'm taking Baltimore at +3. And based on what I think could actually be happening, I wouldn't be too far gone to say I would even take the money line.
Ooh.
But I will roll with Vegas on this one. I'll say Baltimore +3. Alner, what do you say, man?
Our Baltimore +3, like we said, a lot of kicking, a lot of unders, a lot of nitty-gritty football. Sometimes we like to have a little argument and go against each other. But today and for tomorrow's game, that's not going to happen. Nope. Me and my brother are riding together the same. We're going +3 Baltimore.
Yeah.
I feel Baltimore's going to come out for revenge. They're going to come out, kick the ball, show Mahomes that they're not afraid. Mahomes and them may be the juggernaut of the AFC, maybe the juggernaut of the NFL. But it's Lamar Jackson's time. He's going to come out with his shades, his bling. Derrick Henry has his back. It's going to be a good game.
Yep.
I like +3. Sprinkle some on the money line, as my brother said too.
Yep.
I feel like a game-winning field goal is going to come down to here. You never know. We could see a first tie of the first week of the NFL. That'd be pretty cool too.
That'd be
but
interesting.
+3, we'll take the push if we have to. But +3 it is. Let's go Baltimore tomorrow.
Let's do it. So you heard it here first. +3 for Baltimore. But because it's AIM Sports Betting, because it's Thursday Night Football, and because it's Season 1, Week 1, we're actually adding, as Alner mentioned earlier, we're going to be adding a trending bet or a kind of high favored bet that we think is going to actually come through outside of just the spread. So the trending bet for this week is an anytime TD scorer.
Yes.
So Alner, let me throw it to you, brother. This one, I know you and I kind of went back and forth as to who you think is going to score anytime. This isn't first, this isn't last, it's anytime in the game across both teams. Who do you think is going to be taking that title for AIM Sports this week?
All right, so from AIM Sports this week, my brother and I have said this game is going to be a lot of running, a lot of kicking, a lot of ground and pound. It's going to be there. We are looking at a running back that is going to score a touchdown tomorrow at any time. Now, we're looking at either a running back from either Kansas City and Pacheco or Derrick Henry. Those two they're really good running backs. One is in his veteran presence. One is young in his rookie. They both run hard. They almost play the similar style. But at AIM betting, we are selecting Derrick Henry for anytime touchdown scorer tomorrow. You heard it here first. Lock it in. Bet whatever you like. Don't bet at all. That's fine. Derrick Henry is our pick for anytime touchdown scorer tomorrow.
I agree, and I think that, we're gonna see that
he has to find the end zone.
He has to.
I don't see him signing a contract, coming into Baltimore, and you don't find the end zone Week 1 with a team that you want to beat to surpass for you to go to the Super Bowl. I don't see it.
This team, both offense and defense, like his guards are going to be significantly better than was the Titans. If he was dominating with the Titans, with the team that he had there, this should be a walk in the park.
It should be. It should be. But at the same time, too, Baltimore also got, 3 new offensive linemen?
Yeah.
Which I understand is there. But Derrick Henry don't need no offensive lineman.
He is the offensive lineman. He can do what he wants.
He takes one stiff arm, you better get out of the way. Derrick Henry and his stiff arm, get out of the way. Doesn't matter if they got 3 new offensive linemen. You could talk about all of that they're new, they don't know how to protect. Derrick Henry will find a way in the end zone.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
He's finding a way in the end zone.
Yeah. So lock that in, like my brother said.
Yes.
Lock that in. Derrick Henry, score anytime. But keeping in tune with our fantasy pick.
Something new we're doing this year. We're going to have fantasy where we're going to select a daily fantasy for Thursday. So we'll include 1 quarterback that we will pick, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, a tight end, a kicker, and a defense for Thursday that will accumulate the most points from all the players and especially in fantasy. And the fantasy format that we will be using for all our viewers will be on ESPN points with PPR. Whatever the points we give, that is the structure we'll be using. If anybody else is using a different platform, I apologize, but ESPN is what we'll be using over here.
Right.
So to get it started, we have our quarterback selection where we have for Thursday, and we have between Patty Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Irshad, tell them who are we selecting as AIM Betting Fantasy Daily lineup.
So for the AIM Sports daily lineup for TNF, we are selecting Patty Mahomes as our one QB.
Yes.
And the simple rationale, I mean, we talked about it. We think it's going to be back and forth. I think we think that, Casey's going to start off a little bit slow, a little bit reserved. They might be taken aback as to what's going on. Casey will try, and I think Patrick Mahomes will try to reinvigorate the offense with some long bombs, but they'll get shut down fairly quickly. A lot of 3 and outs. So what's going to happen when your receiving core can't do it? You go back to what's tried and tested, and that's his relationship with Travis Kelce. So I think he's going to be able to pick up those points on the low end, high completions, those PPR points like we talked about. And I think that's where he's going to get those yardage back
His
up.
bread and butter.
Easy.
That's it. His
Easy.
bread and butter is just there. Throw the short route.
That's it. I mean, look, this is how I look at it. I mean, Vin Diesel kind of said it the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning. So whether, Patty Mahomes is throwing 5, 80-yard bombs, or if he's throwing, maybe 20 short mid-range passes to Kelce, the reality of it is the yards might be the same.
Yeah.
So for me, I think, and from here at collectively here at AIM Sports, our daily fantasy lineup between Patty Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, the selection is Patty Mahomes.
All right. So there you go. So our quarterback for tomorrow, Patty Mahomes. Running back, already a given on trading bets. We don't need no information.
Yep.
We'll announce him. Derrick Henry.
Done and done.
He's going to have an amazing game. So for daily fantasy, we have Patty Mahomes as our quarterback.
Yep.
We got Derrick Henry as our running back.
Yep.
Now for a wide receiver one. We're only going to pick one wide receiver. There's a few out there, but we're looking at Zay Flowers.
Yep.
Why Zay Flowers? It's a revenge game for him. He's going to come out with a bang. He's going to come out. He's going to run his route, dissect the secondary for Kansas City, and complete a whole few passes, get there, wiggle waggle. I feel he'll be the top wide receiver from tomorrow from both teams combined.
Yep.
And from there, we go back to the tight end where we have to select, where my brother was going to tell you who he's selecting, because as he informed, we have Patty Mahomes as quarterback. Irshad, tell him our tight end.
I mean, like I said, it's going to be the storyline that we're seeing with this game. Patty Mahomes is going to be to Travis Kelce. I mean, it's going to be simple as that. Bread and butter, easy breezy. Patty's going to pick up his yardage. Patty's going to pick up his points. Kelsey's going to pick up his yardage. He's going to pick up his PPR points. It's going to be easy completions. And I think that's what it's going to be. Our tight end for tomorrow, Travis Kelce.
Perfect. And then we have a kicker. We got to select a kicker. As we said earlier, too, this game's going to be a lot of kicking, a lot of running. We feel Butker is going to do a lot more kicking tomorrow.
Yep.
Hence, Baltimore is going to carve Kansas City's defense into the secondary, score a few touchdowns, as they will not need to rely on kicking, where Kansas City will need Butker to make his field goals to make them stay in the game. With that, our last pick is our defense.
Yeah.
What's the defense going to be, Irshad?
I mean, I'm sure you guys, the viewers at home, could see where we're going. It's going to be Baltimore defense.
Exactly.
I mean, the reality of it is that Mahomes is going to try to send them long bombs. He might get 1 or 2 through, but Butker's going to end up kicking them through the uprights. But Baltimore defense is going to shut everything down. Once you pass it to Kelce long enough, you're going to have Baltimore kind of shut everything down.
Yeah.
So we're taking Baltimore defense at this point for our daily lineup here.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I like that pick too, Baltimore defense. It also incorporates with the game that we're selecting in Baltimore +3.
Yep.
Like we said, a lot of kicking. I feel Patty Mahomes is going to throw a pick at the end.
Yeah.
Baltimore defense will get it, run it down. The game will be tied. Tucker will take the kick. Baltimore wins, and that's it. They win by 3. The game is there. Whatever. But that's how I feel. I feel it's going to be a running game. But our lineup again for AIM Betting for daily fantasy for Thursday is Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback, Derrick Henry as running back, Zay Flowers as wide receiver, Travis Kelce as tight end. We got Harrison Butker as our kicker, and Baltimore defense.
Yep.
That sounds like a strong lineup.
I think so, man.
I think that gives us a lot of points.
It does. For a marquee matchup like this on a Thursday, I think this is going to be a solid combination of the best from each team.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, though,
something else is new.
All right, back pocket here, guys. I mean, not only are we doing the daily fantasy lineup, we're also looking at it from an entire week perspective. Now, our entire week, we look at creating a collective AIM Sports betting lineup for those who play fantasy collectively. And in that lineup, we look at 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 defense, and 1 kicker. So, based on what we talked about in tomorrow's daily lineup fantasy, are we taking any of these folks to our week 1 fantasy lineup based on the matchups that we know and see? Ulner?
As much as it sounds really juicy to take a couple of players, I feel there are better games that are going to happen on Sunday and Monday, and also have players that will produce more than what the players will produce tomorrow. As again, it's a marquee matchup tomorrow.
Yeah.
We like the under, we like the run, like the kick. Don't feel that any of these players will have a total or be a top 3 player in their position. So for that, we will find out on Saturday when we do our net podcast on what our daily fantasy lineup is. So tune into that there.
Yep. And that's where you can kind of come in and see our entire
Yes.
fantasy lineup for the entire week, which
yeah.
will, of course, be primarily Sunday and Monday.
Yes, correct.
Because Thursday, we just won't deem anybody here for tomorrow's matchup to actually get the most points
Exactly.
for week 1.
Exactly.
We think there's better players for that.
For sure.
Now, going on into the next element of those who are playing fantasy, and this has been an actually up-and-coming game
Yeah,
I've
it
seen.
has been.
It's called Survivor.
Yes.
So, Ulner,
Can you
tell
survive?
the viewers what Survivor. Can you survive? And can you tell what the viewers is what Survivor is, and if they'll be able to survive?
So Survivor is pretty straightforward. You got to survive your matchup. We're gonna at Aim Bending. We will pick a team here. Out of all the teams, one matchup, one team. That team cannot be repeated again for the whole season. Once we pick every team, and if we get it right, we should be able to pick each team in the NFL and be 100% at the end of the year. Once we pick a team and the team loses, we are out of Survivor. So us at Aim Betting here are going to come together collectively and try to make the best pick possible for us to survive. And for you guys to also survive as well too. And also be able to know if you've picked a couple of teams before and are stuck on picking a team and need to know if Aim Betting's picking a team that helps you and benefits you. Hey, please listen to us and benefit yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to see on Saturday what that is, because we feel that this game is not a game to pick for Survivor, especially not week 1. We don't want to lose week 1.
No, God, no.
And a Baltimore KC game, not a chance. Please count me out. Please count me out.
Yeah, definitely not this
no.
game.
I'm waiting. So we got a lot of games going there. But once again, tune in on Saturday for our Survivor pick.
Now,
Now,
speaking on Saturday,
uh,
one thing that we are going to potentially incorporate from our original special is our game of the weeks.
yes. Whew.
Because one of the things our viewers particularly enjoy was getting that thought and analysis from both Ulner and myself about what we thought about each game and what we saw.
Yes.
Now, we had more or less a similar record. I think you were up a game or two
I
on
think,
me.
yeah, but let's just say we were 500.
You know?
We were there.
And so we're starting fresh week 1, which means that we saw certain things in games that were of value, you know, to viewers and bettors like yourselves. And like Ulner said, we're going to formally announce the Survivor on Saturday. We're going to formally announce our full-on fantasy lineup for week 1 on Saturday with all the players. And that goes for the game of the weeks. Like we mentioned, the Thursday TNF football will always be a free pick for you guys. But the formal game of the weeks, where we pick 3 games, analyze them, and make a call based on the Vegas odds, will actually be for Sunday and Monday games, which will be announced, once again, you got it,
Yes.
on Saturday. That
Yeah.
being said, though, I know there were some games that caught our eye, Ulner.
Ooh, there was a good
Some
game.
interesting ones.
There was a really interesting one. So once again, I really like Dallas and Cleveland.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, that whole saga with Jerry Jones, CeeDee Lamb signed a contract, coming back.
Zeke's back.
Zeke's back to playing against Cleveland, where Nick Chubb is out for the first 4 weeks because
Yeah.
he's still injured. You got Deshaun Watson coming back after suspension and injury and all of his going on. So he needs to prove something. Amari Cooper still out there, needs to prove something. They need to come on and fire. But that's a really good game right there. That standed out to me. Another game that really caught my eye was Houston and Indy.
Yeah.
A big division matchup. Really, really big. You got Richardson coming back from injury again to a full season, coming back strong. And then again, the Houston Texans were a good rookie team last year who made a good run for the playoffs,
Yeah.
surprised everybody, and then all of a sudden got Stephon Diggs on their team
Yeah.
and Joe Mixon. Just added more firepower to
That's
the
crazy.
team.
That's
For
crazy.
them to come out to play in the first game on the road, I feel like that could be a game of the week as well too.
Yeah, with someone Nico Collins coming into his own.
Yeah.
Tank Dell,
like
Jeez.
ridiculous. Yeah. There was another game that caught my eye too, was Pittsburgh and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Even though it sounds like it's a couple of matchups, but there's a lot of new additions. Both teams have new quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has two actually. You got Russell Wilson and you got Fields.
Yeah.
Atlanta got Kirk Cousins. Bijan Robinson's supposed to have an amazing season this year.
Yeah.
Right? Pickens as a wide receiver for Pittsburgh wants somebody to throw at him, unlike last year where he couldn't get the ball or the quarterback just couldn't see him. So you have that. So that's a really good matchup too. And then there were two more games that were there.
Yeah.
And my brothers will let you know about them because one of them is his favorite team.
Oh man. So I'll start with my favorite team because we have Carolina and at New Orleans. Now, one thing that I had, obviously Carolina is projected not to do the hottest this year. We still have Alvin Kamara still doing his thing out in New Orleans, right? But a fun fact for those listening, and they may know, New Orleans have won 5 straight Week 1 matchups. Now, I'm not going to allude to anything yet. Tune in for on Saturday if it's going to be one of our game of the weeks. But, there's a personal bias in there for me.
Yes.
But there were two other games that actually caught my eye as well. There was, L.A. back in Detroit. So you have Stafford and company going back home to Detroit. It literally is like your exes. Like you're seeing the ex again. You went back to Detroit, back to hometown. But what's actually interesting about this is you have a tight end one coming out of Detroit now. He's being formed.
Yeah.
I mean, Laporta's looking damn good with Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Is it too soon to say that it's going to be a Mahomes, Kelsey, Brady, Gronk kind of relationship? Potentially.
I think you're pushing it.
Potentially.
Yeah, it's out there.
It's out there. You never know, right? They had a great chemistry last year. And then lastly, we had, home of the Aaron Rodgers now, right? You got the Jets and San Francisco, who, once again, marquee matchup. You have Aaron Rodgers, speaks for himself, done wonders, definitely a Hall of Famer. But you have the 49ers, who also have C-Mac, just signed, was it Brandon Ayuk, to that $4-year, $120 million contract. So he's fresh, ready. You have Debo ready to go.
You got Kittle, too.
You have Kittle as well.
Defense.
This is going to be a great game, honestly. And I think this game is going to be almost like a chess game. You have someone with the IQ of Aaron Rodgers against the defensive and offensive arsenal of San Francisco. Definitely some games to watch. Like I said, these are about 6 games that kind of caught our eye. We have to pick 3 game of the weeks, but to actually tune in and get the full dissection as to what our calls are, come back on Saturday.
Yeah,
because that's where it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to be.
Yeah. So that basically ends our show for today of Aim Betting for Thursday. We're going to be here. We're going to come back in on Saturday. Like we said, tune in. But just a quick recap of what we talked about today. We have a game tomorrow, marquee matchup, Kansas City versus Baltimore. In Kansas City, the line is -3, Kansas City. Us here at Aim Betting, myself and Irshad are both picking Baltimore +3 to cover that spread. We have a fantasy lineup that my brother's going to announce right now just for you viewers that didn't tune in or kind of missed it out. Irshad, our starting lineup is?
So, our starting lineup for the daily fantasy lineup here at Aim Sports for tomorrow is Patty Mahomes as our quarterback.
Yep.
Our one running back, is Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
We have one wide receiver, it was Zay Flowers. Our one tight end, Travis Kelce. Our one defense, Baltimore Ravens. And our kicker for the game, Butker. Harrison Butker.
Yeah, we said no Survivor this week. Tune in Saturday. Game of the weeks will be announced on Saturday. And our disclaimer, Irshad, go for it.
We give you a lot to think about. We definitely do your own research, make your calls. We try to be part of your betting journey. And, at the end of the day, we'll fill you everything else on Saturday. So tune in and, stay safe. Make sure you're betting within reason. And up here from myself, Irshad, Aim Sports, Ulner.
Aim Sports. Follow, like, subscribe. Let us know what you like. Tune in.
And enjoy week 1, Thursday Night Football. Let's get the season started.
NFL's back, baby.
Let's go. All right, y'all. Peace.